How's it going? What's your name?
Greg Donovan.
Hello, Greg. So I want you to describe Donald Trump in 3 words, good or bad. Just no cursing.
Greatest president ever.
Yeah, give me some examples of what you like that he's doing.
Well, we have, you heard the GDP, it's 3.2. It's amazing what's happening. 6 years, if 6 more years it keeps going like this, we'll be way back on top. They say it's the hit in history that's never been done for low unemployment, for Hispanics, Asians, African Americans, and Americans. All Americans.
So what's the biggest change you've seen in America since he has become president?
Well, when I say, forget about, I've been doing this 20 years, greeting church. Forget about welcome to Hollywood. I say welcome to America, and they like it. People from other countries, they actually, thank you. Respect. I don't know what it is. Even more, George Bush during that presidency, Clinton, and Obama. But with Donald Trump, I guess they know that he's like tariffs and so on. I believe he knows he's standing up for NATO to get the money from Europe and so on.
Yeah, when he says something, the other world leaders take him serious. And maybe they haven't in the past, right?
Exactly. So, and when he says something, they jump. Even like the Prime Minister Abe from Japan said, "You're the first one that's ever done that to ask us to pay tariffs." So, point is, it's just to help us. I don't believe in everything he says, but I don't agree with everything he says. But a lot of the stuff he's doing, it's just respect. I get respect.
Right. Give me an example of what you don't like that he's doing.
It's kind of hard. I've been to many of his rallies. I've met him. I'm just trying to think. I can't think of one offhand. Like when they said that, for example, what was it in North Carolina when they had that thing, and he said there were some fine people and some bad. He was talking about the statue. At first, though, you could think the statue. People were there so it wouldn't be removed. It wasn't for national white supremacy. He meant it for that.
Yeah, a lot of the media that doesn't like him will kind of twist the situation to look bad against him. A lot of people, that's all the media they hear and see. So when they turn the TV off, that's what they believe.
Especially in other countries like Europe and so on. Fox News is probably, and there's another One Nation, I believe. But Fox News is you really hear it. And I wouldn't watch it. I never got this involved in politics until what's happened the last 10 years.
Right, and before we went on air, you mentioned you guard his star, his Hollywood star. Do you ever get any harassment or any bad people?
I did get assaulted, and it's being processed by one of the actors from Jimmy Kimmel. He dressed like a Russian soldier. He tried to grab me, but I stood out there 11 hours in the hot sun. Trump 2020, I have the picture I can show you. But I stood there in the hot sun, no bathroom break, 90-degree heat, because I wanted to make a point. It's a historical landmark. He's a great president. Why do that? But the police were there. They were there.
Right. Any last things you want to add?
Donald Trump, Mike Pence 2020.
Okay. Do you have any social media you want to shout out?
Yeah, I'm Ambassador of Hollywood on Instagram, and Greg Donovan. I'm on Facebook. GreggDonovan, and yeah. Let's make Hollywood great again.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. So I noticed your sign there. Do you want to show the camera? Yeah. So what does that mean to you? Why?
Actually, it's really deep meaning. Now, the original meaning of the sign, when it started, was during the campaign. If you recall, the very first day when he ran, he said, "I don't want a lot of the big corporate donations. I want all these little guys to send me $5, $1, right?" And I was really bad homeless on the street at the time. And my first thought was, well, he's a billionaire. Fuck him. Don't send him $1. Bring me one. Right? And that's where the give me $1 part kind of started on it. Other than that, I am political. I believe he's the greatest damage to the great experiment that's ever occurred. I'll take that past 1812. I'll take that past Hitler. I firmly believe that because the man has zero respect for the parts of the Constitution that make the United States the United States. He doesn't believe in the separation of powers. He doesn't believe in any checks and balances. He doesn't believe in a free press. Every single issue about him is...
Can I follow up on some of the things you said? Okay, you said he doesn't believe in a separation of powers. So you don't think Congress has stopped him from doing what he wants? You don't think that's a separation there? Because he's not doing anything he wants. We have the Congress that's kind of stopping him, and we have the courts and judges stopping him from applying his policy. So,
Well, first off, yes, to a degree, I agree with that, and that is its use and purpose. The problem being, when I say that he doesn't believe in him, is he's constantly disparaging that in the press. He's doing everything and anything he can get around it. You can't avoid a subpoena tomorrow if you have to go to court. I can't avoid a subpoena tomorrow if I have to go to court. William Barr just said, hell with you, I'm not going to come and testify. Mr. Trump has said it numerous times. He's ordered other members of the administration to say it. He simply does not, in my opinion, believe in the various tenets that make up the constitutional republic as it has to exist.
so one other thing you said is he's trying to shut down the press. Is there anything he's done? Has he raided press offices? Has he stopped newspapers from being printed? Has he shut them up at all?
Now, here we go, okay? You might as well wear your Fox News badge out here, but it's okay.
I'm just trying to get to know you a bit. I want to know the whole story. That's all.
No, it's fine, and I'll argue. I'll discuss that.
That's what I want.
All right? The point being, he has done everything he can in his power to disparage a free press. The word fake news is going into the dictionary next year as a result of this issue. Okay? The president believes that if you disagree with him in any form or fashion, in any form of journalism, you instantly must be lying, which, let's be honest, the man lies every time he opens his mouth. Okay? Or you must be wrong. He does not believe in the ability of a free press to cover him. They've had fewer press briefings than any administration in history. When they do, they flat lie. Let's go to the Otter Warmbler case if we want to get really current. Let's see. Press says we offered $2 million to the Koreans for Otter Warmbler. The Koreans say we offered $2 million to the Koreans for Otter Warmbler. Trump says didn't happen, never happened, fake news. His Secretary of State comes out and says, yeah, we offered $2 million for Otter Warmbler. Okay, he simply disparages the press on every opportunity he gets. And while you say, well, has he shut down any press offices, anything of that nature, that would be a fairly extreme issue, and I understand that. But please understand, as Teddy Roosevelt said, the presidency is a bully pulpit. And the words that come from that presidency or from that office carry far more weight than yours or I, or even the Secretary of State's, or even, the head of the Senate, because of that bully pulpit and his constant pounding on a free press.
Right.
There have been attacks on the press.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of time. So, do you believe in freedom of speech? Does he not have a right to call them fake news? Does he not have a right to disparage the press? You believe in free speech, right?
I believe completely in free speech, and I believe he's the man that doesn't, to tell you the truth.
How is he stopping you from doing this now? You have freedom of speech to curse him out on a sign, and he hasn't applied or suggested any laws for you to do otherwise. So does he should have freedom of speech too, right?
Man truly does not believe in freedom of speech. If you watch several of the statements he makes in regard to what people have said.
But we don't prosecute people on thought crimes. He can believe whatever he wants.
I agree with you, but again, we're using the theory of the bully pulpit. He has more power up there. You ask me what he believes. Does he believe in a freedom of speech? I'm telling you, after analyzing everything the man says, everything the man does, every action of his prior to becoming president. I mean, let's just be honest. Stephanie Clifford was the only vendor this man's ever paid. Okay?
Yeah. I got it. We got to get going, but I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, what's up, man? What's your name?
Derek.
Derek, I'm Barman. Nice to meet you. Okay, so I want you to describe Donald Trump in 3 words.
Racist, sexist, and careless.
That's it? Guys, what's your name?
Angela.
What's your name?
Kia.
Okay, guys, so I want you guys to describe Donald Trump in 3 words.
One would be delusional
Crazy.
and an idiot.
Okay, delusional, crazy, idiot. Do you want to give me an example of how is he an idiot? Give me some examples. Elaborate on that.
His taxes, with the way he runs his business and how he doesn't want he's trying to sue the people who are getting subpoenaed.
What about you?
I don't know. I just think he's an idiot.
Okay, so how is he delusional? Give me some examples.
One example is when he thinks that the crowd for his inauguration was large.
Okay, so I take it you guys aren't a fan of the president. Can you guys name one thing he has done for the country in the past 2 years at all?
Well, he got that lady out, that Kim Kardashian one, out of jail. That's all I can think of that he did that was good.
Right. What about you?
I can't think of anything good.
What's that? You want to join? Yeah, we're on. This is public property, isn't it? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Thank you. All right. Thank you, guys. I guess
Okay.
people they didn't have a problem with it. Thanks. What's your name, sir?
Aporva.
What's up? So I want you to describe Donald Trump in 3 words.
I'd say he's untrustworthy, rude, and potentially compromised.
Okay. So give me some examples of one of those. I'll let you pick.
Well, you see a lot of instances where he'll say something and then he'll deny having ever said it. So, I mean, there's a lot of examples of that. Off the top of my head, I probably wouldn't give a specific one, but I don't think it's hard to find one or two.
Right. Do you think that's kind of unfit for a president to behave?
Yeah, I mean, like, of course, I don't really care what goes on in the president's personal life, but I would like them to be someone that I can trust. So if they're constantly telling lies, for example, it's a little hard for me to trust them and to know that they really have my best interests in mind.
Right. Can you give me an example of one of the biggest lies Donald Trump has said over these 2 or 3 years?
Again, I don't want to give specific examples, but there's a lot. So if you're interested, I mean, you can definitely search them yourself.
Right. So I take it you're not a Trump fan. Right. So anybody on the Democratic side that you're interested in going into 2020?
It's really hard to say. There's a lot. I like Pete Buttigieg. He's young, a lot of energy. I mean, the other candidates are fine too. I'd really want to see how they do in the debates first before I decide.
Right. Do you think a guy like Pete could stand up to like Putin or Kim Jong-un or these powerful world leaders that are, hard to intimidate? Because Pete Buttigieg doesn't really have that stature, like a strong character. So how would he?
So yeah, again, that's why I want to see how they do in the debates, because that's definitely one thing I'm looking towards, to see how they do stand up to these leaders. And also it depends on how they stand up to Trump in the main debates, right? So if they can stand up to Trump and win the election, I think that would show that they are capable of standing up to these other leaders.
Right. So looking at it objectively, can you name even just one good thing Trump has done since he's been in office? Anything at all? Anything good for the country?
Yeah, let's see. I mean, so far the economy is doing well from what I hear, so, that could be a positive.
Yeah, sounds good. Anything else you want to add?
I mean, like I said, it could sound like a black and white issue. It's really not, though. So, I mean, there are positives and negatives of every candidate, and it's hard to tell because a lot of times the media will influence your opinions. So trying to find out what's really real and not, you really have to see for yourself.
Yeah, a lot of people that don't like Trump, that hate Trump, they are really influenced by the media. So it's kind of admirable that you have your own opinion and you realize the media does have its influence on some people.
Yeah, and I would say it goes both ways, of course. It's not like one type of media is influencing one people and then other, flavors of media are not. I think it really works both ways. So.
Right. Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir. Name?
Greg.
How's it going, Greg? So I want you to describe Donald Trump in 3 words.
A fucking idiot.
Okay, can you elaborate on that? Give me some examples.
Well, wind is causing cancer from the windmills. Just him being in office is a total embarrassment.
Right.
Having fast food for athletes when they come visit the White House. I mean, you have McDonald's cater. That's fucked up.
Do you have any specific policy examples that you don't like that he's trying to get through?
Honestly, I'm fortunate. I was telling these guys today, I'm very fortunate to live in a country where I don't really care what's going on in Washington, because eventually he'll just go in.
That's right.
So, I try not to follow him because nothing that he does goes into Senate, or it's always, an executive order.
So I take it.
He doesn't really have any policy.
Right. So I take it you're not a fan.
No.
Right. Anyone on the Democrat side for 2020 that you look?
No idea. I haven't even looked.
No. Okay.
They weeded out and.
Right. Why waste your time? Right.
Fighting and whatever. Who's ever up? Yeah, I'll vote for them.
Right. So can you name even one good thing that Trump has done?
No. Is there one?
I'm asking you.
I know, but in your opinion, has he?
Well, I have my opinion, but.
Yeah.
No. Anything else you want to add?
No. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. What's up, man? What's your name?
My name is Sabine.
Okay, what's up, guy? So I want you to describe Donald Trump in 3 words.
3 words? All right. You got lazy, stupid, and just flat out ugly, man. Jesus Christ.
Okay, so give me an example of how Donald Trump is lazy.
You know, I've seen, I don't know if it's true, but I've seen just what he eats and stuff and how he is so precise about wanting it delivered to his room specifically. I mean, he's just, and some of the decisions he's been making for this country is just not good.
Right, so
Vibe.
right, so you know, he obviously is not the healthiest guy around. You mentioned the word stupid. Any examples? Do you want to elaborate?
Yeah, sure. He just in his campaign speeches, he just always using you know, he's like, oh, I love, y'all are beautiful people. You all are, like, his vocabulary is very low, as you can tell, compared to Obama, who was before us. So that's how I mean in his stupidity. Yeah.
So I take it you're not a fan of the president.
Not really, no.
Really? Okay. Can you name maybe one thing the president has done to help the country in the 2 years since he's been in office?
One thing that he's done well is, I mean, with that wall, there's gonna be a lot of job opportunities. That's about it I can think of.
Right. So what about the unemployment rate now? Do you think that's a good thing that has happened since he's been in office?
I heard it has improved. I'm not quite sure on that, but I heard it has improved, but it's still pretty low.
Right. So who do you see? Who are you going for in 2020 on the Democrat side? Do you have anyone on that side that you feel confident in?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure at this time. I just hope Trump is not in the running at all whatsoever.
Right. So if there's one thing, well, he is running in 2020.
I just hope he's not
No. What,
near the seat.
well,
4 years.
right. So what do you think the worst thing that can happen if he gets into office again?
To a war
With who?
with. I mean, he's. I mean, with Korea, that's the greatest fear for me.
Right. So okay. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's about it. I said my piece.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.